Very important medical disclaimer. Information provided in this podcast is for educational purposes only and does not substitute for professional medical advice. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified healthcare provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition or treatment before undertaking a new health regimen. Welcome to the Holistic Health Explained podcast. I'm your host, Shante Fox, and my guest for today's episode is Claudia Rubio, biomagnetic therapist, Reiki master, actor, photographer, and entrepreneur. Originally from Colombia, Claudia has built a diverse and inspiring career spanning acting, photography, and holistic healing. Her journey began in the entertainment industry, where she studied acting and earned leading roles in Colombian television. For 14 years, she starred in soap operas, comedies, and hosted TV shows, pursuing her passion with great success. After a severe knee injury led her to leave Colombia and relocate to the United States about 27 years ago for physical therapy, marking the beginning of a new chapter in her life. It was a life-changing moment with her father that inspired her to pursue holistic healing professionally. After developing a severe infection following gallbladder surgery, Claudia's father was given little hope for recovery. Desperate for a solution, Claudia sought help from her meditation teacher, who was also one of Arizona's very few biomagnetic therapists at that time. Biomagnetic therapy proved to be a turning point in her father's recovery. After just 5 sessions, his health improved remarkably, leaving doctors astonished. Moved by the effectiveness of this therapy, Claudia became a certified biomagnetic therapist in 2016. Since then, she has continued expanding her expertise with studies in Reiki, bioenergy, and feng shui. Claudia currently resides in Gilbert, Arizona, balancing her time between clients in Arizona and Iowa. She continues to nurture her creative passions through photography, acting, and improv, while also running Hollywood-style photo booths, a business that reflects her love for bringing joy to others. Claudia, welcome. I'm so excited to chat with you today because not only are you such a fun person to talk to, but I also love what you do. And I think a lot of people need to know about it because I don't think many people know about biomagnetic energy therapy, right? So, but before we get into our discussion, I'd like to ask you my icebreaker question. If you can think of something real quickly, if you can share a fun fact or something that not many people might know about you.
Hi. It is also very exciting to talk with you.
Yeah.
A fun fact about me. Wow. Well, there are so many fun facts you got me out of guard, but a fun fact. Hmm. I I am very grateful to I think everything that happens in life happens for a reason, and
Mhm.
having my knees injured and landing in this country, I think it is the land of opportunities. I have been a resident for many years, but right after the pandemic, I realized that the best country we could all be was the United States. And I was okay with being a resident, and I became American citizen like 2 months ago.
Congratulations.
Something switched in me.
Mhm.
Something switched. The the love for the country, the respect,
Really?
the time. No, in Latin America we have a little situation with being on time, and became
Yeah.
American. I am on
Are
time.
you on
and
time now?
I am on time.
You did hit here on time
I
today.
did.
Yeah.
So that's a fun fact.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks for sharing that because I'm sure, a lot of people, us being, who are American citizens and grew up here, probably take that for granted. So for you to have that opportunity, I'm sure means the world to you.
It is. It was
Yeah,
was super exciting and very important to become American. And it's now the sky is the limit.
exactly. Yes. Well, so we met, I think, about 6 or 7 years ago through a mutual friend. And we were both, I think, just starting out to learn about holistic healing and energy work at that time. You were just finishing up your training with biomagnetic therapy. I remember that. And we both became students of Olivia, who I just previously interviewed about Reiki. So we're both now Reiki masters who have trained under the same fabulous Olivia.
Yes, that
Right.
was one of the most beautiful things
Yeah.
happened to me, because I remember you came and you said, Claudia, would you like to take this Reiki class? And I said, I don't know what Reiki is. And that was it. When I met Olivia at the open house, I just I don't think I saw a lady. I saw a big light walking
Right.
towards me, and I said, I don't know who you are or what do you do, but I want it. And she said, I'm a Reiki master. I said, what is that I wanted?
Yes.
And that's what you were talking about. And
Right.
that was, it's energy work. And I
Yeah.
have been into energy work. The more you start this journey, the more you know you need to, there's more to learn. And
Mhm.
it's
Right.
non-ending and it's beautiful.
Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, we do get to work together occasionally when we have our Reiki share days here. So that's always fun. I know you're a busy woman traveling all over the place and operating multiple businesses as well. So I thank you so much for taking the time out to chat with me today. I have been eagerly awaiting this because very few people know what biomagnetic therapy is. So, will you please explain to us in simple terms what is biomagnetic therapy?
Yes, biomagnetic therapy is a beautiful, non invasive healing modality that proposes to change the, the alkalinity of the acidity of the body, promises to put it in a neutral level.
Okay.
Um, all viruses and bacteria are born and they expand. How do you say that? They proliferate, they expand.
Multiply.
They multiply
Yeah.
in acidic, in a two acidic or two alkaline environments. And our original state of being is 7 plus a little bit or 7 minus. That would be the original state of the pH of the body, no? So if
Okay.
we are too acidic, there are microorganisms that are growing in our body and we are very prone to illnesses. And starting with a little cold to a major illness like cancer or AIDS, or how did you say the oh, I lost it.
That's okay. That's okay. Well, can you explain to us kind of what the theory is behind how pairs of magnets can influence the body's pH balance?
Oh, sorry, to keep the homeostasis. Yes.
Yes, yes.
What was the question again?
How can you kind of explain to us what the theory is of how pairs of magnets can actually influence the body's pH levels?
Yes, we are mostly water,
Mhm.
and we are the water molecule is H2O, two of hydrogen and two and one of oxygen, and after that it carries neutrons, protons, electrons. We're basically energy, and we are an energy field, electromagnetic field, standing on a big electromagnetic field, which is the Earth. So the first separation from our mother uh, field started with the use of shoes, and the plastic,
Right.
the rubber of the shoes
Yeah.
are making a little separation. Then, right there, we have a little imbalance. Also, the food that we eat, the air that we breathe, the coffee is acidic. For example, meat is acidic. The majority of the things, the air, the pollution of the air, the what we breathe from the cars that expel in the air, everything is attacking us and everything is getting us into a very acidic environment. So when we use the magnets, we use a scanning of the body, and we can see, following the protocol, we can see where are the acidity, or where is too much acidity, too much alkalinity. And when we place the positive and the negative of the magnet, that area will be totally neutralized.
Okay, that makes
So
sense.
when and it's just so beautiful. It's just so beautiful because we are talking about the whole blood. All of our organs are being showered by our blood. our organs are built with those cells. So we are basically addressing the blood, which is showering all of our body. So by changing the pH of our body, the organs that are in too much acidic state are going to start recovering. It's not that the magnets are going to heal you, or that I am going to heal you, or the therapist is going to heal you. It's your body that once is provided with the tools necessary to go back to the original state, which is a neutral pH. Then the acidity is gonna get we are gonna get rid of the acidity, and the organs are going to come back to the homeostasis. How do you say?
Homeostasis.
Homeostasis.
Yeah.
People laugh about my English, but I'm
You're
just
doing very
trying
well.
my best. So once we recover that state of balance, then the body starts recovering.
Okay. So yeah, like you're saying, it's not you, it's not the magnets that are healing the body, but they're creating a better state for the body to actually kind of heal itself, basically.
Exactly. There are many ways for us. There are the alkaline diet, for example. There are many ways. I used to start my day with an alkaline drink. I know you do that too. You keep your body alkaline throughout the day. But the acidity of the world, the environment where we live, a good food or a good exercise practice, it's going to help. But in some cases, it's not going to be enough to reach that neutral pH of the body. So the magnets, that's when the magnets take place, and it's just amazing. There was a study in Spain. There is a video on YouTube that you can actually see the experiment. This doctor interviewed the father of biomagnetism. We can go there in a few. He interviewed him at his office, and they took the blood test of a woman. She was like a 65-year-old lady, and you can see so clear. It is just amazing. You can see how the cells are kind of like little clusters, and they're all together, and it's moving slow. And just after 20 minutes of the magnets being on her body after the session, you can see the cells all like flowing and healthy and separate and moving around in such harmony. So it is just beautiful. And of course, we're talking about the blood. So then the pressure, the high blood pressure, then goes normal. Then all of a sudden, the person is having this pain here, and the pain disappears. When you start having pain, is when the organ is lacking oxygen and is very acidic. And now it's we're talking about something that has been progressing over the years.
Right. Yeah. Well, let's kind of step back a moment and talk about, can you walk us through a little bit more about how you discovered this modality and what convinced you of its potential? I know like in your bio I talked about kind of first being introduced to it when it was introduced to you by your meditation teacher for your father to use. So can you talk about that experience a little bit more?
Yes, I was on this healing journey. I met my meditation teacher, and I was in that path when all of a sudden my father ended up at the hospital with a horrible infection. His gallbladder exploded during surgery, and there was infection in all of his body. They called the priest, and everybody's, Claudia, he's gonna die, and he's gonna go, and we need to be ready. And it happened that I was with a friend that took the meditation class with me, and I was crying, and I said, my dad is gonna die. And he said, why don't you talk to Nataraj? And I said, why? Like, to help me meditate on it or what? And he said, no, he is a biomagnetic therapist. And I said, what's that? And he said, he just smiled, and he said, just don't ask, just go. So I called him, and I said, my dad. So we end up, to make the story short, we end up making the session for my dad. And it was 2 weeks that my dad was at the hospital, and he couldn't sleep at all. And the nurses were knocking at the door, trying to change his his putting the chats and all that stuff. And that day when we did the session, my sister calls me and she said, I don't know what you guys did, but your dad slept from 6 p.m. to 6 in the morning. And the nurses woke me up all night. And he never woke up. And he woke up at 6 in the morning and he's doing just great. By 11 o'clock, she says, guess who's going home? And I say, what? Wow. He's been in the hospital for 2 weeks and now he's going home. So he goes home and we are so happy and excited. Of course, we continue with the therapy. That was first session. Okay. Then we do the second session and he's doing good at home. Then we do the third session and my sister calls me and she says, Dad is back at the hospital and his testicle is huge and he's crying for help. He says, just cut it. And the doctors didn't know what happened. So I go back to my meditation teacher, the biomagnetic therapist, crying and say, my dad is going to die and now his testicle is going to explode. And his wife was there. And they both look at each other and they're so kind. They're so kind. And they smile to each other and they said, good. And I said, what do you mean good? My dad is going to die. He said, let's do the therapy and let's continue with the sessions. And what happens with what's happening with your dad is that the body is so smart that the body after this therapy is trying to find a place to get rid of all this infection. And for men, the farther place of your body is the testicles. And for women, this is very interesting, Shante. For women is the breast. So when women have a breast tumor, it's basically something going on different than in the breast, something in the body trying to get out. Rid of it. And what do we do? We cut the breast. And yes, you can cut the breast, you can cut the tumor, but are you cutting the root cause of? So the body is going to be like crazy trying to find other ways, and that's when the cancer ends up, I don't know, in the bones or somewhere else. So I didn't know that. And I had no other option than believe. And I said, okay. So we continue. It was total for the full blood infection that my dad had. It was total 5 sessions of biomagnetic. And he lost 20 pounds during that time. And he started recovering the pounds amazingly. And that man is 84 years old and he just... He's been good since then, huh? He walks the miles, go ups and downstairs. He's very, very, very healthy. Wow. So in this case, biomagnetic did help save my dad's life, but also biomagnetic helps. I do it for myself, and I recommend people to do it like at least once or twice a year, just as a maintenance, because we don't want to get to that toxicity point. Right. No. So it's good to just use it as a maintenance program too. Keep your body in that homeostasis even when you don't have something major going on. Exactly. Okay. Exactly. And another thing that happened right after my dad, it was like, wow, well, great. And then I ended up with a kidney infection and I felt this pain and I said, I need to go to work and I need to get rid of this and this is going to get bad. I should go to the emergency room to get these 3 pills and I will be done for 3 days. I'll be ready and healthy in 3 days. Or I have the option, go to the biomagnetic therapist again and try it on yourself. And that's what I did. Okay. First session, I come back home, nothing. Second session, I come back home, the pain is there. Third session, I got there, I felt free to go and cry in front of him. I cried before. I was like, this is not working. This is just a lie. I don't know what happened with my dad. It was a miracle from God, but this pain, I'm feeling it. This is horrible. And he smiled again, so kind. He said, let's start the session. And I was like, okay, that's it. I went home mad. And I said, when he's going to ask me to come many, many times, and this, how much is that going to be? No, it's like, because it's something that you don't see at the moment. Yeah. So just like, okay, how many sessions do I have left? until no, the piggy bank is full or what. I was like, no, this is not working. I woke up the next day, and until today, I don't know where the pain went, and I just got healed. And that's when I was very interested and say, wow, can I do that? Can I study this? And I started studying about that until I took the leap of faith and I said, you know what, this is for me and I need to study it. And
Yeah.
that's what I did.
What does it take to become a biomagnetic therapist? Is there a certain training program that you have to go through?
Yes, there is a training. I was lucky that a clinic from Mexico came because all this started with Dr. Isaac Gois in 1988. He's from Mexico. And this is huge in Mexico and Latin America.
Okay.
It's expanding now in the United States. And I was able to they were able to bring a teacher. So we took the training here. And once you take the training, that's when the real training starts because then we met into the practice. You
Yeah.
were my guinea pig.
Yes, that was one of your first.
I love it. I love it. So then you have to practice, and as everything, you need to practice, practice, practice,
Okay.
and show that you have good uh, rate of success, that you are following the protocol, that you're not changing the protocol. You know, as many modalities, people start changing the protocol. So then you get a test, and then you get the certification when you are ready. But it's at your own pace.
Okay. Is that something, so it's not, I mean, it sounds like something that's not easily or readily available in all areas. Is it somebody wanted to become certified in this? How easy is it to find somebody to train you?
Right now, it is expanding, and we have a trainer here in Arizona. Now, I am also considering on becoming a trainer
Okay.
because I have been asked from many people. The Dr. Goy's idea was that is very interesting when we get into Dr. Isaac Goy's story. But his idea, after being persecuted because he said he found the cure for cancer, and they said nope, you didn't. And if you continue, you're not going to have a license. And he continued. He lost his license. And then the pharma came and said, if you continue, it's going to be major things. And those major things happened for him and his wife, that he had to leave Mexico. So he moved to Spain. So, but it is now around Latin America. Many biomagnetic therapists are willing to teach. One of his dreams when he left Mexico, he said, one of my dreams to fight. He said he was mad, and he said, I'm going to fight with this situation. And we all have the right to be healthy. And he said, if I die knowing that at least one person in each household becomes a biomagnetic, I will be fulfilling my life purpose. So he is as easy. That's why he created the protocol that everybody can learn it. What he did, he started going to indigenous tribes, and he started teaching them because they don't have the availability to have doctors there, or they don't have a hospital nearby. So he started going to indigenous tribes and start teaching one or two or few people in the tribes. And he was very recognized for that.
Wow.
People said, Dr. Goyes, you deserve the Nobel Prize, in an interview. And he was crying, and he said, well, I don't think that's going to happen, but I already got my Nobel Prize at the indigenous place. I got the title of this and this and that. They gave him a title. And he said, that's what is important for me, that everybody. So it's so easy. All you need is to be passionate believe in the therapy, passionate about helping others,
Mhm.
and just follow the protocol.
Right.
That's it.
Okay. Well, I'm sure, he just that's kind of what all of this stuff is about, is just wanting to help people heal in a more natural way and not have to be sick all the time. There's just
Mhm.
so many things that keep us, like you said, all these environmental things around us that just keep attacking us, even when you're
Exactly.
trying to use the right products and do the right thing and be in the right environments, there's always going to be something that we're going to be exposed to. So just having all of these different tools, really
Exactly.
can save a life. How do you assess whether a therapy is actually working for a particular client?
How do I know if the therapy is working?
Mm-hmm.
I have a sign in my office that says it works or it works. It works
I
or
like
it
that.
works. It's been very, if a healthy, very healthy person comes, everything beginning with me. Uh, I was very healthy and I was doing all of my healthy approaches, exercising and everything. I said, you know what? I'm just going to go for therapy. I just want a set of sessions. I'm not sick. I'm
Mm-hmm.
healthy. And I went to the therapist and he said, why are you here? I said, I have nothing. I'm perfect. I just want to, as a prevention. And he said,
Yeah.
okay. And we started doing the therapy. And remember, my dad was 5 sessions and he was about to die.
Mm-hmm.
And with me, we had, I think it was 6 sessions. I don't know, 6 sessions. And it was just like boom, boom, boom. It's called biomagnetic pair because we use a pair of magnets.
Right.
So there is always a pair of organs that we have to address,
Okay.
and put it in one organ and then in the other one. And he counted like, my gosh, like 30 pairs in the first session, and the second session was like another 20. And he said, and you were healthy, huh? I said, oh my. And because I was already studying, I already knew that it worked. Then I said, yes, I'm healthy, but there's so many things because it's every single day. Like
Yeah.
right now, I'm putting my hand in the table and then I just scratch my eye.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bacteria there that I put it in my eye, and the
Right.
bacteria, if I have the perfect virus that matches that bacteria, then the virus is going to start eating that bacteria and then start growing, growing, growing.
Right.
And over the years, I don't know, maybe 10 years, I might have something uh, horrible that they say, oh no, you have 3 months to live. Like, why? What?
Yeah. How did this
And
happen?
and we didn't know it was because I scratched my eye, for example.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes. Are there any situations where biomagnetic therapy shouldn't be used? Is there any types of conditions or situations where people should not receive the therapy?
Yes, when people are in
Mm-hmm.
chemotherapy, it's already, when I refer about the body and healing the body, I talk about the army, no?
Yeah.
So there is already two armies fighting when it's the cancer cells and the chemotherapy. They're in a
Okay.
constant battle and the body cannot resist. The body, as we know, gets weak.
Mm-hmm.
If we add a third army, which is the magnets, it's kind of like the saying, okay, it's over, everybody's gone,
Okay.
because your
It's too
body is
much.
weak. And so if we add the magnets, the body is going to create a very negative effect because the body is already tired. So
Okay.
chemotherapy, we recommend that the person has to be out of the chemo for 12 months, or that uh, not is considering not to take it. It's a very delicate situation because sometimes people say, okay, I want the chemotherapy, but I'm going to try the magnets first. No.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to get chemo too soon, then it's going to be three armies fighting inside your body. So it's chemotherapy. We'd rather to have it after 12 months of finishing the chemotherapy, and also the pacemakers. We can perform the therapy, but away from the pacemaker.
Okay.
And pregnant women, because it can interfere with the natural development of the baby.
Just those few things,
Yes.
instances, but everybody else is typically
Yeah,
okay to receive the treatment.
exactly.
Yeah. Are there any specific things that you see it working best on, or like who should come receive this therapy?
Everyone,
Everybody.
everybody, as a prevention.
Okay.
I do it, you do it, and I have few patients that they just come like, and it started like that. They're like, Claudia, I want to see you again. I want the therapy again. Can I come in a month? Yeah, it's like it's as because every single day now I get out to the parking lot and there is acidity in the air. So everybody as a prevention, and everybody that is dealing now with an illness, and we do not interfere with with their medical treatments. People can take their medicine. We will never recommend them to stop taking any medicines. We will not give any advice. We're not doctors, we're therapists. And it happened very often that I have this patient. He comes on regular basis. He comes for a monthly, but he came for a back pain. And the first session I saw, he got the high blood pressure pair. And I said, okay. I placed the magnets there. Second session, the high blood pressure pair as well, and I put it again. And then the third session, I said, again? Biomagnetic is like an onion, like peeling an onion. No, you start the first session, you start peeling some things, and some things you come here with a pain, right? That's what happened with my kidney infection. He started peeling the layers. So the first layers, they needed to be removed. So we just cleaned that. The second layer came, and then the third layer, then we found what was causing the actual pain. So with him, with this patient, it was 3 sessions, and I said, you know what? I don't know what's going on, but I know you came here for back pain, but every single session I have the hypertension pair, and I've been putting it, but it's okay that it repeats twice, but the third time is like, what's going on? And he said, oh, I forgot to tell you. I said, what? I'm taking medicine for the high blood pressure. I said, oh, okay. So maybe why don't just get the test? If you're seeing your doctor soon, get another test, get it tested, because it could be that the therapy could be telling us that the medicine needs to be adjusted, either more or less. So he went, and the fourth session, he said, oh, by the way, I got my blood pressure, and the numbers came lower, not super low, lower, and the doctor had to reduce the medicine. I was like, oh, okay. That was what happened. Yeah, that was happening.
So it sounds like biomagnetic therapy can also be, a good option to use alongside conventional medical treatments, other than when someone's going through chemotherapy. But,
Yes.
if somebody wants to use it in conjunction with, traditional medicine, is that safe? Or,
Yes. Yes, it is safe. We will never tell our patients to stop using the medicine.
Right.
But the same body is going to start accommodating, and is going to start telling you, just lower the dose, or stop just taking it. In many cases, people just stop taking the medicine by the doctor's advice, and they're just good. Their body heal them.
Maybe we should mention that before you do each session, you actually do a scan of the body, right? And that's basically what tells you where you need to put the magnets.
Yes, we follow the Dr. Goy's protocol. We do not, people, I get calls asking me, so how's the scanning? Do I have to be in a machine and stay still? No, it's just we just need to measure the length of your feet, and if they are not even, what we do is start placing a magnet. Remember, we are a magnetic field, and we are playing with the magnets. We start moving the magnet until we see the both feet are together. Then we can start moving the feet around. Is we use something that is called muscle testing.
Okay.
So, and also by manipulating our electromagnetic field with the magnet, then we can find the answers by following the protocol where possible alkalinity could be, or acidity could be.
Okay.
Alkalinity is such a difficult word for me to say, or acidity. So we can find the acidic places, or the places that need attention, and most likely that if there is a pair that we see that there is an imbalance, Dr. Goyce, he created the protocol so we can see, we are scanning organ by organ, so we can see where to place the magnets. And it's just in a matter of 20 minutes, Shante, leaving those magnets 20 minutes. I call it, because I like to refer as armies, I call it as this little army that is living in your liver, and they are happy and excited. They have food and water. And when the biomagnetic comes, is just like, I can even see them, this little picking up the little TPs and we're running out of oxygen. So they start migrating to another place. So in the with the protocol, we also know that specific bacteria that lives in that specific organ usually migrates to this other area. So we need to impact that area as well. So if you are, let's say you have eight pair of nuts, 3 pairs of magnets around your body. My theory, and this is not from Dr. Goyce or whatever, but in my theory, and for me it sounds like logical, your blood is passing through those magnets, your entire blood. So that's what explains, because people say, oops, I came for a back pain, like for this guy, I came for back pain. The back pain is gone, but also my blood pressure changed, Or oops, I had this pain, I didn't tell her, and now the pain is gone. You don't, when you come to the therapy, not necessarily you don't have to tell us, oh, I have pain in my liver or in my stomach. This is going to show in the scanning. Things that you probably didn't even know are going to show there. And it's really, really, really good, because you come for one problem, but you end up addressing the rest of the.
I think I even remember, because it's been a while since I've done a session with you. But I feel like I remember you even going over like emotional stuff that it picked up. Am I remembering correctly?
Yes, exactly. We are energy, and thoughts are energy. And the way that I like to explain it is, just imagine a piece of meat, a piece of beef, and imagine, how do you call these little things, to electrocute it? Yes.
Okay, yes.
So you have the beautiful red piece of beef, and you just, when you electrocute it, you put the little things on the meat, and it start burning, start changing color, and that part of the skin starts dying. So that's exactly what we do with our thoughts, with our emotions. It's like, oh, that's stupid lady, here in the stomach. Oh, she's calling me again. Oh, she did that. Oh, I hate this. Oh, why did I? So we start every emotion that we have. If we are scared, if we are nervous, if we are anxious, it's kind of like, this is what we're doing in our body. That's why the importance of meditation, the importance of keeping a positive mind. Every time you have this bad thoughts or bad emotions coming from your head first, is like you are, every emotion is linked to an organ. For example, the knees. The knees are related with the ego, for example. So a situation that affects your ego, then you you react to that, but energetically, the knees are linked to that emotion. So you are going to start having problems in your knees, or the cancer, the hate. No, hate is related with cancer. So every time that you have those thoughts, you are electrocuting that piece of meat. So that's when the acidity comes. So that's why that is the best explanation I can give my patients about how the emotions contribute to the acidity of your body.
Okay. Yeah, interesting. And I guess that just from hearing you talk about these different patients that you've had, it sounds like everybody's requirements as far as how many sessions are needed is just gonna just depend on that person and what their needs are, what they're going through.
It's usually it's between 1 and 5 sessions. That's what I
Okay.
have found, but we need to say 1 up to 10
Okay.
when there are like extreme cases. It could go up to 10 sessions, but the
Which is not
majority
bad.
of no, the majority, and they're very, it's very affordable. It's a very gentle therapy, and
Okay.
it's oh, I lost it. What was
Like how, as far as how many sessions? So
yeah, I have people that they come excited. Oh, I heard about biomagnetic. My friend said that, blah, blah, blah. And they get a session, and I'm like, yep,
you're done.
they're done. Like, no, please, please. I'm like, well, just like you want to come for in a month for for
Maintenance.
for maintenance, but
Yeah.
no, you don't need more sessions. Like, oh my gosh, please. Sometimes it's between 1 and 4 to 5
Okay.
sessions.
That's the average. Okay,
Yes,
which that's very reasonable. That's when you think
exactly,
about what we do, on a regular basis to try to stay healthy. That's
exactly.
definitely reasonable. How far apart are the sessions usually?
We can do it. We can wait up to 24 hours for the body to adjust
Okay.
and start doing its thing. But we can also uh, during the session we can see if the person needs a session in 3 days or 5 days
Okay.
or a week. So it's mm, the maximum will be every week,
Okay.
and then as the treatment goes, we can see if the patient needs to be seen in 2 weeks. No,
Okay.
but that's rarely.
So it's, if somebody is suffering with something, it's something that could be addressed fairly quickly. It's not something where it's like, oh, you got to come once a month, and you're only going to get a session,
Oh
So
yes,
it sounds like, it's something that can be done fairly close together. So that way, their problem can be addressed fairly quickly.
yes. I have patients that come from other towns, and they say, I'm gonna be here for 10 days, and is it possible we can do something? So we schedule them every 24 hours.
Okay.
And in 5 days,
Yeah.
4 or 5 days, it's the treatment is done.
Okay. Awesome. Wow. Well, that's a lot of good information today. And hopefully this, like I said, not a lot of people have ever heard of this therapy. So I hope that we enlighten some people with some new knowledge today. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with our audience about biomagnetic therapy or just self care in general today?
Yeah, a little bit about the background of biomagnetism. It's very interesting that in the 1980s, the chief medical doctor of the astronauts, which was Dr. Richard Boringmeyer,
Boring Meyer.
Boringmeyer, discovered that when the astronauts came back from the space or from a training, they they came back with one of the legs shorter and approximately 1/4 of an inch to 3/4 of an inch. And this leg discrepancy was not the case before they were exposed to this. They went taken to training, knowing the space journey.
Okay.
And as the Dr. Boring Mayer analyzed the strange phenomenon, he concluded that the cause of the leg discrepancy was the result of the astronauts being away from the Earth's magnetic field. So
Okay.
then, that's when Dr. Isaac Gois comes to the picture. He was medical doctor in Mexico. he attended to one of Dr. Bormeyer interviews and workshops. And Dr. Goyce, when he heard about the leg discrepancy, the difference, he started thinking about the yin and the yang. So he started placing magnets, the negative pole of the magnet, to a specific point of the body until he was able to reproduce the shortening of the leg the astronauts were facing when they were sent to training. So that's where everything started. So Dr. Goyce started thinking about pair of magnets to help to help accommodate the leg again back. So he started playing with that. So he got these studies at his office, and that, I don't know if you remember, back in 1988, there was the AIDS going around.
AIDS epidemic. Yeah.
And many people were dying. So this patient comes to the first patient for biomagnetism came to Dr. Goy's office and said, "Doctor, I have HIV. I'm gonna die." And Dr. Goy said, but I have these studies, and if you want to try, let's do it. So he tried with this patient, and that was the first patient in 1988 that he was totally healed from AIDS. So after that, Dr. Goy said, "Okay, wait a minute. So AIDS is an autoimmune
Disease.
As an autoimmune disease, and what is that? It's a combination of viruses and bacteria. And what is cancer? Cancer is also a combination of viruses and bacteria and other pathogens. You know, the virus itself will not kill you. The virus is going to enter your body and it's going to scan your body and say, no, 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 well, here is no food for me, and the body will leave. But if you are acidic enough and that virus enters your body and you have the specific bacteria that virus likes to eat, is going to eat it. And once it's eaten, when it eats the virus, the bacteria is going to start to grow and grow and grow. And that's when it gets out of control. The bacteria grows, the virus grows, and it's a full war in our body. And that's when the terrible illness come. So that's that was his approach. Cancer is the same thing that he treated the same as AIDS. So he started doing tests, clinical medical blood tests to his patients, his cancer patients, and when he helped heal 18 people. He went to the Cancer Society and said, "I found the cure." And that's when I told you at the beginning of the interview, they said, "Nope, you didn't."
No, you did not.
Exactly.
Okay, we'll leave that for another day. But wow, yeah. So that's interesting that this has been around for such a long time already, since the 80s.
Magnets have been used for centuries ago, but not until 1988 that we started giving that like a form to the treatment.
Yeah.
Thanks to Dr. Isaac.
And doing the research behind it.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. Wow. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today and helping us learn more about another different holistic healing modality. Do you want to tell our listeners how they can find you for more details on what you offer?
Yes, of course. You can go to my website is noninvasivehealing.com.
Noninvasivehealing.com. I'll put that in the notes too so people can see how to spell it if needed.
Yeah, non is NON.
Okay.
Invasivehealing.com.
Noninvasivehealing.com. And you can look up Claudia and learn more about biomagnetic hair therapy and how to schedule an appointment with her if you're here local or want to fly into town and come see her. I'm sure, would love to see you.
Thank you. I'm seeing some patients in Iowa as well.
So, okay.
Iowa.
So, okay, Iowans.
Iowa, Minneapolis.
Yes. So
Iowans.
just look you up and you can reach out to her through her website
Mhm.
to get some more details on that. And thank you to our listeners today for tuning into our episode of Holistic Health Explained. I am your host, Shantae. Be well, my friends.